All right, so today we're cracking open a really powerful book, What to Say When You Talk to Yourself by Dr. Shad Helmstetter. We're going to decode how those quiet little conversations you have in your head, well, how they're secretly running the entire show.
So let's just jump right in with a question I think we've all asked ourselves at some point. You've got the goals, right? You have the desire, but it feels like there's this invisible wall that just stops you in your tracks. What is that? Why does that happen? Well, the answer isn't about willpower or luck. It's about your programming.
See, here's the thing. The problem for most of us isn't that we don't want it enough. It's that our brain, our own personal supercomputer, is running on some seriously faulty software. A program that was installed a long time ago, mostly without our permission.
Okay, so look at this number, 148,000. Any guesses what that is? According to Helmstetter's research, that's roughly how many times you were told no or what you couldn't do by the time you were 18. Just think about that for a second. 148,000 negative commands that helped form the very foundation of your mental program.
And this right here is where the book just nails it with this incredible analogy. Think of your mind as the onboard computer flying the airplane of your life. Now, if the flight crew told you that 77% of that computer's programming was wrong, that it was actively working against a safe landing, would you get on that plane? No way, right? Of course not. And yet that's pretty much what we're all doing every single day. Okay, so if we know the programming is the problem, the obvious answer seems to be just think positive, right? We've all heard that a million times. But as the book explains so well, it's just not that simple. In fact, there's a very specific reason why that advice usually fails. So to really get why thinking positive often falls flat, let's use another fantastic metaphor from the book. I want you to picture your mind as an apartment and all of your old negative beliefs, the I'm not smart enough, I'll never get ahead, things just don't work out for me. All of that is the old beat-up furniture inside. It's not great, but you're used to it. It's familiar. So here's the trap. Most positive thinking is just about getting rid of the negative. So you do it. You decide, that's it. I'm getting rid of all this junk. You haul all that old mental furniture out to the curb. And for a moment, your mind feels clean, but it's also totally empty. It's a vacuum.
And this is the crucial part. You can't live in an empty apartment for long. It feels wrong. And because we're most comfortable with what's familiar, what do you think happens? You go back outside and you drag all that old, worn-out, negative furniture right back in. Why? Because you didn't have anything new to replace it with. See, just removing the negative is not enough. You have to actively install the positive.
So if just thinking positive is like trying to fix an engine with a hammer, what's the right tool? Well, this brings us to the absolute core mechanic of the entire book, what he calls the self-management sequence. This is the step-by-step blueprint that shows exactly how our inner thoughts create our outer reality. Look at how this flows. It's a domino effect. It all starts with your programming. Literally, the words you say to yourself. That programming, repeated over and over, hardens into your beliefs. Your beliefs then color your attitudes, which then create your feelings. Those feelings are what drive your actions, and finally, your actions produce your results. You see the chain? If you want to change the end result, you can't just tinker with your actions. You have to go all the way back to the start and change the programming.
All right, so we get it. We need to change the programming. The big question is how? Like, what do we actually do? This is where the book gets super practical and gives us a toolkit. Helmstetter breaks down all of our internal chatter into 5 distinct levels, which gives us a clear roadmap for improvement. Let's start at the bottom, level 1. And let's be honest, we all live here some of the time. This is negative acceptance. It's when we say something bad about ourselves and just accept it as a fact. It's the stuff we say without even thinking. Ugh, I'm so clumsy. I'm terrible with names. This is the language of defeat, and every time we use it, we're just reinforcing that old faulty program. So this is the roadmap out. This is how you climb the ladder. We start at level I, the I can't zone. Level 2 is a bit better. It's recognizing you should change, but should has no real power, does it? The real shift, the magic, begins at level 3, the decision to change. I no longer accept this. But the powerhouse, the place we really want to live, is level 4, the better you. This is where you state your new reality as if it's already true. I am. This is the new furniture for your mind.
Okay, the framework is down. Now for the fun part. Let's roll up our sleeves and put this into practice. How do you actually rewrite that internal script?
How do you replace the weak language of level I with the powerful reality-creating language of level 4? It's literally a swap, a direct replacement. You catch the old negative program in the act, and then you consciously, deliberately override it with a specific, positive, present tense level 4 statement. So, I can never remember names becomes, I have a great memory for names. Notice it's not, I will have or I hope to have. It is, I have, right now. You're giving your brain a new, direct command.
Now, you might be thinking, isn't this just lying to myself? Well, here's the fundamental truth that makes this whole thing work. Your brain doesn't really judge. It doesn't know the difference between what's real and what you're telling it is real. It is a loyal, powerful servant. It simply believes what you tell it most often, and with the most conviction. Repetition is everything. Your brain has no choice but to build the reality based on the blueprints you give it.
So, when you boil it all down, it comes to this one simple, powerful idea. For years, you've been running on a program that you probably didn't choose. But from this moment on, you're the one at the keyboard. You are the programmer. So the only question left is, what's the first line of old, limiting code you're going to delete, and what powerful new program are you going to write to take its place?